Hello there, it's Damien from Adelphi Brewing. Today we're going to be doing our very first small batch, just a 1-gallon batch of beer, and we're going to do a Country Pilsner. So let's get started. Okay, as you can see, we have all our supplies ready. We have our hops and our malt, along with our yeast, and then we've got our sanitized water over here. And then we're bringing 1.25 gallons of filtered water to a boil. As most of you know, we usually do this outside with gas on a propane stove, but today we're going to do it inside since it's such a small batch. Okay, as you can see, we've already just dumped in our malt and our first addition of hops. So the recipe says that we're going to let this boil for 25 minutes. So I just started a timer. So after 25 minutes, we'll add some more hops and then we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So we have our second 7 grams of Willamette hops that we're going to go ahead and add to our boil here. We're going to pour it in slowly. Make sure we get it all. That's some of the steam sticking to it here. All right, give it a quick stir, and then we're going to boil this for another 20 minutes. It'll give us a total of 45 minutes on the boil. So we'll see you back in about 20 minutes. All right, as you can see, we've prepared our sink. Basically, it's just going to be an ice bath for the wort as soon as we take it off the burner here in just a minute. All right, so it's been another 20 minutes, and as you can see, our wort is all boiled up here. So we're going to go ahead and get it off of the burner, and we're going to get it into its cold bath right now. All right, so we've got our wort here. We're going to set it right down into the ice bath, being real careful not to get any water in there. I'm going to go ahead and put the cover on here, and we're going to let this sit basically until it's down below 70 degrees, preferably around 65, and we'll be back shortly. Okay, so I think this has cooled down enough now, so we're going to go ahead and pull the thermometer out and see exactly where we're at. And as you can see, we're at just about 65 degrees, so that's perfect. So we're going to go ahead and get this out and get it siphoned into our 1-gallon fermenter. All right, so I went ahead and put the wort pot up on a little, turn another pot upside down to get it up high, and then we're going to siphon it down here into the 1-gallon jar. So I'm going to go ahead with my auto siphon. All this has been sanitized already. And if you look down here, you can see right on the side of the jug, you can see that it's starting to siphon out of the pot and into the jug. So we're going to keep that at a nice slow siphon so that we don't stir up too much of the trub at the bottom, and we're just going to let this fill. Be back in a minute. Okay, so while we were siphoning the wort into our jug, we went ahead and pulled a little bit off so that we can take an original gravity reading. And as you can see, it's about 1.050, maybe 1.051. So we'll go ahead and use that when we're calculating our final gravity at the end. All right, so now we're going to aerate our wort, and as you guys know, I like to use the aeration stone, so it's all sanitized, and I'm going to go ahead and put it down here into the wort, turn it on, and you'll see we'll start getting some bubbling. We're going to let that go for about 15 seconds. And then we'll shut it off and we'll get on to the next step. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and pitch our yeast. So we've sanitized both our scissors and our yeast package. Because we're making a small batch, we're only going to use about half of the yeast. And we're going to attempt to pitch it directly in. A little bit more. And that is just a little bit more. There we go, that's about half of the package. So we're gonna go ahead and in here, we've got our cap also in the sanitizer. So we're gonna go ahead and put our cap on, and we'll be back in just a second. All right, so we've got our airlock. We just took out a sanitizer. We're gonna put it right down in the top of the jug here. Make a nice airtight seal. And then we're going to go ahead and put this out in our fermentation refrigerator and we're gonna let it sit for a few weeks and we'll be back. All right, so as you can see, we went ahead and transferred the jug out to our fermentation refrigerator where we've got a temperature probe hooked up to my thermostat. This thing is great, highly recommend it if any of you are even considering it. And it's going to go ahead and ferment at 58 degrees for the next few weeks. So if everything turns out good, we'll be back in a few weeks and we'll do some bottling.